The RB21 is faster than ever, giving Max Verstappen a huge boost in his quest for a fifth title. With upgraded power and precision, is this the season he makes history? Stay tuned for the ultimate battle. Max Verstappen says things can't get worse than last year after Red Bull made adjustments to its car for F1 2025 in hopes of improving its performance. Verstappen and Red Bull were among the teams that completed the fewest laps during the F1 2025 pre-season test in Bahrain. This comes after a tough 2024 season where they lost the Constructors' Championship to McLaren, despite Verstappen successfully defending his driver's title. The start of the 2024 season, however, proved crucial for Verstappen in retaining his title. Driving the new car in Bahrain, the Dutchman expressed his satisfaction, noting how the car has become more predictable and enjoyable to handle. "I enjoyed the driving bit, the car was quite decent to drive, to be honest," he said to media. In terms of pace, it's always difficult to say, but I enjoyed it. I guess that's the most important part of it. It was a bit more predictable, but around this time last year, also around here, it wasn't that bad. But I do think that the team learnt a lot from last year. So now we just try to address what happened last year and see how things go when we get to Australia, a completely different track. But so far I've been enjoying it, Verstappen said. When asked about the differences from last year, the Dutchman confidently added, "The car can't be worse now. He can feel the differences but prefers not to go into the details. It can't be worse than last year, so I think the direction that we are working into is good, so we just need to follow that and see how much we can extract out of that," continued Verstappen. "But at the moment, it's really early days, so a lot of things that we are still discussing and wanting to improve, but I enjoyed it, and that's already a big difference to last year. Everywhere is just improved everywhere compared to last year. I don't want to go too much in detail. It's not necessary, we keep that for ourselves, but yeah, let's see. There's a lot to still analyse also, but it's positive, yeah. Some cars, of course, they don't need much influence and you try to just continue the work. For myself and the team, of course, at some point last year, we knew that something was up. Then, of course, a few things had to be addressed. Quite a few things have changed. So I give my feedback on what I think the car needs to go faster, and that's what we tried to apply to it, to be honest," summed up Verstappen. The new Red Bull RB21 had a strong start in pre-season testing, with Max Verstappen revealing that he's enjoying driving the car after the challenges of the difficult RB20. While Verstappen and Red Bull dominated the beginning of the F1 2024 season, the year took a turn as the car's evolution introduced handling issues, causing Red Bull to lose ground to rivals like McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes. Despite successfully defending his title to secure a fourth consecutive championship, Verstappen and Red Bull found themselves slipping to third in the Constructors' Championship. Their title push was derailed by a dip in competitiveness and Sergio Perez's struggles to score points. However, Red Bull showed marked improvement in the final quarter of the season, gaining a better understanding of their development missteps and making the necessary corrections. This led to immediate success, with Verstappen taking victory in the sprint race in the USA, followed by dominant wins in Brazil and Qatar. Heading into the winter break, the big question for Red Bull was which direction the team would take for the final year of the current regulations. With diminishing returns from drastic changes, would they opt for evolution or a more radical revolution in their approach? Over the course of a busy 3 days of pre-season testing, Pierre Wache, Red Bull's technical chief, provided exclusive insight into the thinking behind the new RB21. He explained that while the car is reacting more or less as expected, it will take some time to fully unlock its performance due to its significantly different characteristics from last season. "We re-evaluated all the concepts of the car. We modified most of the stuff that is maybe not as visible as the older car. The concepts overall stay the same, but plenty of stuff has changed underneath and inside the car that, in terms of cooling, suspension, aero package, everything has changed to achieve the characteristics we like. The overall shape of the car and bodywork, which is mainly what you will see, are similar, but not because the concept. I would say we re-evaluated, and we think it was the best compromise for what we were looking for. Given that Verstappen has made it clear that he wasn't entirely fond of the RB20, despite securing another title with it, Wache explained the steps taken to make the RB21 more adaptable for its drivers. When asked about the physical characteristics of the RB20 that contributed to the balance issues Verstappen had strongly criticised, Wache responded, "I don't want to say too much, but it's clear that we had a very, very peaky car with high potential that was difficult to extract. If we wanted to extract this, it was creating some difficulty for the driver to use it, and, especially, at slow corners, giving some instability for the driver to use it. What we did this year is to maybe reduce the complete potential of the car, the peakiness, but giving a more easy way to use by the driver. That's what our main purpose was, especially on the entry of the corner. It's not as simple as that because it's a characteristic that the peak of downforce is not only on one dimension. It's a multi-dimensional system that is not only downforce, it is also suspension-wise and what the kinematic is doing, but is an overall car characteristic of how the driver feels. But, fundamentally, it's exactly that. Reduce the overall potential in grip and capacity of the car to make it more flat. That's what we are seeing at the moment. Last year we had a quite difficult car, and to rebalance it, it would put you in a corner in terms of what you could do setup-wise. Now it is giving us a wider range of setups that we have to explore. And it will take time to see what the best compromise is, and the compromise could be quite different from track to track, because it gives us a lot more freedom. Given the improvements shown by Red Bull in the latter stages of the 2024 season, was it a case of refining that idea further and optimizing the package used in the final races of the year? No, last year we did a patch, I would say. He laughed, revealing that the RB21 at this point is roughly around 0.3 to 0.4 seconds a lap quicker than the RB20 spec used in the 2024 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. A patch to reduce the potential a bit, make it a little bit wider, but it was a small patch. Now we did the full concept of the car in this direction. At first glance, the new Red Bull car may appear similar to last year's Challenger. However, Wache has highlighted that substantial work has been done to make significant changes to the car for the new season. What the car looks like on the outside is similar to last year, so it's similar, but not identical. But other than that, the whole car has changed. We mainly focused on the characteristics of the car, with the aerodynamics and suspension, among other things, to give the drivers a better feeling. It should also eliminate the pain points from last year. The car is really different, and we have to see if that pays off or not. So do you think Red Bull have changed their car enough to give Verstappen the best chance of winning his 5th title? Let me know your thoughts down below. That's all for today, so thanks for watching, everybody.